Alright, so let's talk to this guy first.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
The man greets you with a smile. You seem like a man who knows about drugs. Oh, I might be able to do this. And I've got a point to spare as well. It's looking good. Let's leave for now. Bye. Don't think I have anything that gives me empathy. Yep. Don't know if my smokes are still in effect. Just in case. Yeah, they're not. Let's go ahead and...
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up? Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know?
He folds his hands behind his head and leans back. I do like this guy. This guy's chill.
But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
He pauses, letting the memory dissipate. He seems like a more chill version, a more normal version of that guy smoking on the balcony.
Just be straight with him.
Do you finance those other addictions with drug trafficking? I need to get high, and I'm looking for a dealer. Let me be straight with you. I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs out of Terminal B. Let's say that.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
The lieutenant steps in.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration.
Wait, then why are you still hanging around? Who do you think could be conducting the drug trade then?
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
It's not a lie. It's something else. Impossible to say what at this point, but there's something in him. Some trepidation.
Good luck.
Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
Hey Tommy, spill the beans. What's troubling you?
Man, nothing's troubling me. Just the usual Lorman tropes and hopes. The road and the rhymes. This jam ain't helping either.
He looks around.
That all the beans you got, Tommy? Damn, it really is hard to talk, man to man.
I will get you.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
58% is not great. Let me go ahead and have a smoke. Intellect, right? No. Psyche. +1 to psyche. 9 uses of this left. Oh, this game. This game is not for kids. Alright. Ready.
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
Ease into it.
What?
Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
Man, you look sad. What's going on with you?
I'm okay, man. Just... the jam's got me down. The fumes, the chemical rainbows, the tarpaulin stretched on the frames and the dull engines off.
The man recedes into his daze of words.
Maybe the full-on direct approach wasn't correct. Damn, it's tricky business looking into someone's eyes and not doing it wrong.
I think I don't want to continue this quest until I do that. So we're gonna try and find something else to do. Prove your authority. How do I do that? How much XP do I need? Oh, quite a lot. One good quest. And some other things will do. Man, ask Kuno if he knows anything about the victim's clothes in the trash. I didn't do that?
Fuck does Kuno care?
I have more questions about the crime scene.
Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it?
The dead man's clothes were in the trash container. Point to the container. How did they get there?
Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno.
I need to know. It could be a lead in the investigation. Someone may have tampered with the murder scene.
Listen, listen. Kuno doesn't care about this small-time shit. Just listen. Kuno saw what you did there, dumpster diving. Sad shit.
He stops you.
Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your size, good price. 500 real.
Oh my god. He points to his pants. Wait, I asked you what happened to his clothes. You must have seen them lying around. Alright, entertain me. What's so great about these pants? No, Kuno, you don't know anything about the tampering I'm investigating. And I already have pants. Alright, entertain me.
Pig, these are found modulars. Liquid fit, performance crotch, urban survival shit. Made in Mirova by scientists. Pants scientists. Believe it, you need this shit.
He unzips his jacket to give you a quick peek at the plastic wrapped pants. They are graphite black and look brand new.
These could drastically improve your chances of survival in the urban wilderness. Coach Physical Instrument endorses these pants. They are tartan ready.
Wait. No, wait. I might be interested in the pants. Let's talk about this later.
Look, Kuno ain't seen shit lying around. Except for that you took away. Now you want performance gear or not, Grandpa?
The lieutenant remains silent, but his expression couldn't say, "I told you so," any louder.
I might be interested in the pants. Let's talk about this later.
Alright, Pickle. Shit's rolling.
His face lights up.
Take
do business with the pig, Kuno. He's gonna steal all your money, Kuno.
As you can see, Kuno and C don't trust you. Can't do business without trust.
There's more to his distrust than being a pig. He feels threatened by something obscure in you. What that is, however, remains a puzzle for now.
There was also a mug in the trash. Show him the mug.
The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fucking clothes again?
Yes, does this racist mug have anything to do with it? Yes, does this adequate depiction of a South Sumerian man have anything to do with it? Yes, does this quaint, better not taken out of its historical context, mug have anything to do with it? What should I say to this kid? Probably this.
Yeah, Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain. You saying you pigs are after the mug fucker 'cause he's the clothes fucker?
He whispers excitedly.
I can't hear you, Kuno. Speak louder, Kuno.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Kuno. Someone has tampered with the crime scene, cleaned some of it up.
Shit, that's tense. Someone's going to the beat-down basement, huh? Mug guy gonna get tied to the radiator.
He thinks for a moment. He nods in approval.
The kid may have something there. He's already come up with an interrogation technique too.
Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did, he wouldn't squeal. But if you find out, maybe you can...
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno. They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching. Get away from my Kuno.
She lets out a hiss even meaner than before.
Yeah, get your bacon shit away. Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Get your shit done and out of Kuno's face.
Kuno jumps back. We'll say this. I swear we said this before. The ladder, ever climb it? Oh no, I didn't say this. Point to the ladder on the tree.
Look at that fucking shit. You're trying to get Kuno killed.
He screeches. So, you would say that the ladder is unclimbable.
Fuck does Kuno know? Kuno's not a fucking acrobat.
Kuno knows the ladder is unclimbable. The lieutenant takes a quick note in his notebook.
It's a trap, Kuno. Don't climb it, Kuno.
I might have questions later.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit.
Ooh, these are looking good. I think I do want these, actually. Okay, I'm off.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
I need to sell some stuff. I can't believe I'm gonna pay this kid. I thought I was gonna be able to, like, steal them. Overpower him, you know?
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Ooh, do I want to sell this? I don't think so. I still have something to do with it. I like to sell my clothes.
I'm not purchasing it, and especially that tie.
Your mother is a necrotic object! I'm fun! Look at me sparkle in the light of the projector!
Another time, perhaps.
How am I gonna get the money? I don't want to sell that cube. Not yet. Anyway. Not yet.
The tear machine your bottles clunk into the machine.
Ooh, hard times. Guess hope for new interactions inside the cafeteria, I guess. Wait, let me see if I can check this.
A lorry stuck in the windows are clear. They've been recently
Likely, yes. This guy.
Theory, he was acting tough before.
Okay, stuff we've done before. What is this? Take. I still can't get in here.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimpled lock.
And if I equipped this.
You see a
Still
heavy
the
steel
same.
door. The old cobalt paint. Rough on it leads to a side build.
How do I get that open?
Yes?
I wonder, do I have to sleep?
Can I help you?
About my bill for tonight.
Got the 20 real?
Come on, man, it's late. Do I really have to pay you again?
The breath catches in his chest. The light in his eyes snuffs out all at once. After a moment, he speaks.
Do you have money tonight?
No.
Too bad.
He mutters. He shakes his head and stops as a strange, new, cruel light rekindles in his features.
But you know what? You're in luck, because you don't have to ever pay me again.
You're fucking with me, aren't you?
Not at all, officer. It's true. You don't have to pay me anything.
The corners of his lips turn into the slightest smile.
You don't have to give me any money at all. If you want a room, yes, you'll need to pay me, but you don't have to just give me money. Giving me money for a room is your choice.
This isn't a fucking joke.
Wait, I still don't understand. Do I get a free room or not? But I need a fucking room. This isn't a choice. I have nowhere else to go.
You want a free place to sleep? Fine.
His eyes flash with fury.
You've already unlocked your new room. The trash container outside is ready and waiting.
Oh, wow.
The lieutenant is painfully silent. This was your responsibility. I cannot help you now. I am sorry. A new dimension of reality will open. A portal is this bed of waste. Sleep there and awaken elsewhere.
What does that mean?
It is not clear. All that is known is sleep in the trash and there is no coming back.
We're not doing that. Fuck you, God. Seriously. Fuck you. Or the first one. Wait, you want me to sleep in the trash outside?
I don't care what you do. Sleep in the trash or pay for a room. I don't care anymore.
Fuck you.
He looks you in the eye. There is silence in the space between you. He is not proud, but he'll deal with that later.
I don't make the rules. Pay 20 real or sleep in the trash container. It's not up to me. Now, is there anything you wanted?
Goodbye. This guy.
Yes?
I want to talk about you. No, I don't want to talk to this guy.
Oh, hello, dear. I didn't notice you at first.
So your husband is some kind of scientist.
Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
What is cryptozoology?
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
The lieutenant sounds unimpressed.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
She's used to playing off such insults casually, but they still affect her.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
She's completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own.
Ooh, what's this? Let's do it. Maybe you could convince her to tell you about some cool cryptids.
Sometimes the most charming thing you can do is be reasonable in your requests.
Could you tell me about just one interesting cryptid?
I suppose you could use a break and I could use a distraction.
One cryptid, like you said. One. This can't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza. We have things to do.
The lieutenant throws you one of his looks. Okay, Kim, just one. Just one little cryptid promise. Cryptid extravaganza. I like the sound of that.
And I don't. Just one.
Or he'll be disappointed in you. Ooh, tough choice there.
What's the most dangerous cryptid? What's the biggest cryptid? What's the tiniest cryptid? What's the most dangerous? Are there any invisible cryptids? This has been educational. What's the most dangerous cryptid?
The gnome of Jeroma.
The gnome of Jeroma? That sounds terrifying. The gnome of Jeroma, that doesn't sound too bad.
Oh, it is. None of its victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found their bodies because the gnome's venom dissolved organic tissue.
What did this cryptid look like?
It was reportedly a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead and a gangly little thing. Quite scary to look at. A couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard an odd wailing in the woods and followed the sound. They were scared and wrapped it in tarpaulin to suffocate it. It still took the gnome of Jeroma an entire day to die.
She looks at you, her voice grave suddenly.
If the body of the creature was found, why aren't there detailed illustrations of it in science textbooks, confirming the existence of this very little species?
Kim wants to get involved.
Alas, the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it in a jar of formaldehyde, thinking that would detoxify the gnome's venom. Instead, all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid, dissolving the creature itself. A poetic end, perhaps, but a real loss for science.
She says, mostly to herself. Alright, I'll chill.
Of course, dear.
What is this expedition your husband was on?
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the waterlock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
She sighs.
The waterlock. That was broken. Could this be it?
Wait, who's this Gary person? Do you trust him? The waterlock to the other side of the coast is broken. They probably just stuck over there.
Oh my. What happened to the waterlock?
Wouldn't you know, it's blocked by a big butter billboard. It fell right into the water. Probably just some technical problem. Word around the canal is some weird new cryptid destroyed it. Yeah. I really don't know. Let's say this.
Oh, now you're just having fun at an old woman's expense. In any case, thank you for looking into this. It takes a weight off my shoulders. Thank you both.
She turns to the lieutenant.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery with that extremely rare insect.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the waterlock's been repaired, and it's cold out there.
If I see him, I'll let him know you're here. When or if I get there. Accept task.
Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
Tell me more about this rare insect your husband is looking for.
Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
Minutiae. She catches herself. I would have said minutui.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance. No, I want to hear about the insect. Let's say this.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but...
She hesitates.
Oh, yeah. Here comes the interesting.
Where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast. Hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us, officers.
She looks you in the eye and nods thoughtfully.
There's a touch of awe in the way she enunciated the creature's name.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists.
The lieutenant sighs.
It's not made up, officer. I can assure you.
There's a hint of defensiveness to her retort, but also confidence. She seems to sit up a little straighter in her chair.
It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all.
I was drinking. Where are we? What makes you think the phasmid is around here? So it is dangerous. Is it valuable? Does it have cool powers?
Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years, centuries even.
Her face lights up at the thought of it.
That's not special at all. Of course it blends in. Most insects do. You don't even have to be a stick insect for that.
What makes you think the phasmid is around here?
Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping.
Interesting. Maybe the phasmid made the teenagers make out.
So a newspaper clipping is all the evidence you have.
Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insul Indian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
Enthusiasm has wiped the worry from her face. Her eyes sparkle behind her glasses.
You seem really excited about this cryptid.
I suppose I have something of a personal connection to the Insul Indian phasmid. All scientists have their little hobby horses.
So, is it dangerous?
Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully?
Is it valuable?
Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie.
Okay, what's so special about this stick bug then?
Oh dear. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special.
The woman's face flushes with embarrassment.
Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
That's all for now, ma'am. As soon as Kim goes, I am taking those boots off the man. It's locked. Fair enough. So I wonder if there's like new things, new people to see. And then I'll talk to the Hardy Boys. Da, 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 da. Nothing up here. Guess I'll finish talking to this woman. She had more stuff. And then go to the Hardy Boys. Jeez.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
You're on a boat.
Why, yes I am.
She looks at the deck under her feet. Green and white sails flutter overhead. Not a lot of people on boats, are there? Does she have a name? Do you have a license for this boat? I think I have a handle on the boat thing.
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
She looks around.
There is a pinch of defensiveness in her voice, but it is playful.
Wait, we're on an archipelago?
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
Le Caillou? I thought we were in Ravachol.
We are. And the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou.
Okay, chill. Still, I haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle.
The lieutenant becomes defensive.
It's for crossing long distances in the greater Ravachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
The woman pats the cabin hardtop.
She's having a good time arguing against the law. Too good, perhaps.
Does she have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
The word "it" feels strange. Such a beautiful boat deserves a proper name. A breeze ripples through the sails and tugs at your hair. Below, the sleek, fish-like shape of the hull parts the water. Beneath that, a resounding darkness. You're reminded of something. Or someone.
I should be able to like click this to replay it. That'd be cool. Cool, but your boat really needs a name.
Okay. How about Cordelati 19? Why?
She taps on the side of the boat. It makes a hollow sound.
Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordelati, and its hull is 19 paces long.
How about the sleek fish? How about the X something? How about Dolores?
Why Dolores?
Because it stings in an ancient and beautiful way.
I don't know. Feels pretty. I just like the name for some reason.
Well, it means nothing to me. I think I'll stick with the factory name. But thank you for the suggestion.
Okay, but what kind of boat is it?
It's a pleasure craft. A 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
How do you like it?
My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
Her lips curl into a wry smile.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Do you have a license for this boat?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Qualified pleasure craft operator. So charming. Where's the damn license?
Can I see your license?
I just renewed its safety inspection last month, officers. It is completely seaworthy. In fact, it's taken part in not one, but 2 insulindic regattas. Even finished once.
Still need to see a license, ma'am.
Actually, you don't.
I'm pretty sure I do. I police.
It is a little known fact among those who police that the Wayfarer Act specifically denies the RCM the authority to demand anyone's operator license.
Cam, you need to just chill sometimes. Wait, exactly how little known is this fact? More like the Anarchy Act, in my opinion. So we can't pull over random civilians and demand their papers? That's weak. Makes sense, I guess. I mean, look at me. Okay, forget the stupid Wayfarer Act. I had another question. Makes sense, I guess.
No need to resort to self-pity, detective. You can still ask for her passport.
Hey!
You need to save face if you want her respect. Demand that passport.
Yes, I'm going to need to see your passport.
Of course.
She searches the pockets of her raincoat, producing a bundle of documents in a sealed plastic bag. Look at her passport.
The woman is silent, smiling while the waves lap against the hull. In your hand, under the plastic, a light blue passport saying, Republic of Vespa. The coat of arms has a lion and an ostrich. Seagent.
Look at the photo page.
The woman, born in the year 3 in the commune of Revachol, smiles at you. Face adorned with frown lines and crow's feet. The photo is recent. The name reads, Rejoice Leighton Messier.
Your name is Rejoice. You're from Vespa.
Yes. But please don't call me that. Joyce is much more efficient.
She doesn't like it. Probably a bad memory. Mean girls at school or some ancient lover.
You're from Vesper.
My husband is. I have dual citizenship. A Vespertine is handier when traveling.
Everything appears to be in order.
She nods and returns the plastic bag to her coat.
I think I have a handle on the boat thing.
Good.
Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do?
What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
So what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things.
She points to the small dots on the horizon.
And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
She enjoys talking about the company. It would not hurt to inquire more.
How much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
A billion?
What exactly is a billion? Wow. That's it? I thought Wild Pines was supposed to be big time. Numbers like that mean nothing to me. Let's say wow.
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments.
A wave hits the sloop. She grasps the mainstay for balance.
A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility.
Where does Wild Pines get all these billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
What does such a huge system want with a place like this? Look around. That's all I need to know.
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
She gives you a little smile. 8% of all cargo in the world, that's quite the endeavor. You don't keep it moving, the workers do. The company is nothing without them. Nah, let's say that.
We built this district.
She says calmly.
All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions. The plazas Meteor and Mosaic. Even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to the investments from the WP.
She points behind you, where the seawall rises.
Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for its Revacholian employees. A company getaway, for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter. I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built.
She takes a sip.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
What can you tell me about this strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
Wait, what if I want to hear about trade secrets?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments that gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
An octopus? I will slay it. How do I repeal it then? Wouldn't want to disturb an octopus, better let it be. Let's see this one.
Why? By throwing off half a century of foreign domination under the Coalition. Unfortunately for you, the Coalition also leases you the right to police West Revachol. But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
What is your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Oh, you mean Measurehead.
Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead.
She leans back and rolls her eyes. How were the tasks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
She thinks.
But the strike began in December.
He looks at his notes.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
What happened to this Gaumont? What are their demands? I want to say that.
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
I don't know what to think about that. I like it. Over-aggressive, commie posturing. Seems like they have no idea about business. Forget it. I wanted to ask. Okay. What should I say to this woman? Let's say this.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker a member of the board.
What does that even mean?
It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision, about what? About anything really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal.
Sheesh.
Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
That's pretty funny, I have to admit. The workers can't be kings. The king is king. The king is dead. Long live the workers.
That may well be. It's not up to me to decide who is king, but as negotiations go, it's not a swell start.
What are you going to do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
The lieutenant looks up from his notes.
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
Her reply comes quick.
This checks out.
The scabs at the gate. Or, what happened to this Gaumont?
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it?
She pauses to compose herself.
Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Cool.
Yes. Extremely. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the Union.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
The scabs at the gate.
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the Union refuses to?
She raises her brow.
If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
What do you think of Everard?
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
That's Everard, alright.
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
I remember hearing something about this Edgar.
Have you seen him?
No.
Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does. And when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over.
Wait, what? I see.
It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the Union itself, outside the Brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
She hesitates, looking for the right expression.
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we are forced to cooperate with them.
The lieutenant saying succinctly.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
She nods, and she turns to you.
And your opinion, detective? If I may ask. I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
She explains. An effective advocate for the rights of local working men. A giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol. Basically a socialist mob. I'll say this.
Indeed. And a hungry one. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the leech always hungers.
One more thing. You said something happened in the elections.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Oh.
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Some kind of extortion, probably?
Indeed. The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
That's all I need here.
Of course. How else can I help?
Do you know something about these tattoos? Show her the photo.
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
So you know something about the tattoos?
Better not tie the forestay to the backstay on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
You seem smart. I need someone to give me the lowdown on this reality.
This reality?
She pulls her hood closer around her neck. It's related to that medical episode. I have trouble remembering even the most basic terms of reality. No time to explain, just give me the lowdown.
No, but please, a little context. We're not in such a hurry.
Okay.
Ah, yes, the episode. Sounds like an acute case of encephalopathy, now that I think of it.
Encephalopathy. She puts down her thermal cup and looks at you.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality.
We may be here a while then. Ask away, officer. I'll help however I can.
She takes a long sip of tea.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
I'm not gonna do good here. Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Baby.
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
I'm a disco holdover myself.
Aren't we all?
She smiles. And what is Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock.
She looks around, her green raincoat flapping in the wind.
You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
She shrugs. Tell me more about Martinez. You mentioned a sea. What sea is this? Okay, that's Martinez. Tell me about another, perhaps even more fundamental aspect of reality.
I would be happy to.
Oh, whoops.
What is a preposterously expensive education for, if not sharing?
Okay, where are we?
We're in Martinez. A casual term. Martinez, you would be excused for not knowing about it.
Tell me
Unimportant.
more.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders.
She closes her eyes.
A brief spike of longing in her upright body. The dots under her eyelids shake.
As I told you, Martinez used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its part. Now the reeds are the real star of the show here. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
You were here as a teenager.
Yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats and... Don't hold it against me. The boys certainly did not.
She smiles.
There's a spark in the air, a live wire hanging in the wind, in your hungover neocortex. Then the sea air cools it down.
You mentioned a sea. What sea is this?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Are we near the ocean?
Yes. We're on an island in an ocean, the world's largest body of water, the Insulindic.
Vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
What's the name of this island?
Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her.
Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revachol?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city.
What kind of city is Revachol?
The great kind.
As if it's self-explanatory. Beyond patriotism. A fact.
What makes Revachol great?
History, detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
Okay, who built this city?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Semenine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed.
When was Revachol built?
In the DeLorean century. 380 years ago.
And why will it resolve history?
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men.
Why here?
We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
She smiles. So we're in an unimportant part of an important place. So we're pretty much at the center of the world. So we're on the periphery, basically nobody's. Okay.
I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about...
She points across the water where the skyscrapers rise.
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Look to the sea.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition. Only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
Where are we?
We are where we are. I have no truer answer to give, unfortunately.
She watches you closely as you scan the horizon.
This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality. Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Messier will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
You're right, Lieutenant. I'll continue later.
It's better not to eat all your candy at once.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
What is this? Spread your hands.
A bird? A sphenicid? A flightless bird of the polar regions?
She tilts her head. Am I really that awkward? I meant, what is this place here? Keep guessing.
Ah! This is the pier of Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, 33A, where the tenants have been kind enough to rent me a slot.
She spreads her arms almost as wide.
Or two.
She looks around. What is Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, 33A?
A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments. After les bâtiments nouveaux. But 33A and 33B are not nouveaux. They're old.
She looks up at the crumbling facade.
This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall. A real high-rise by the standards of the last century. Built to mirror the skyscrapers across the bay in the Delta. That was before the war, of course.
Who lived in them?
Mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate. before the cannons lop 4 or 5 stories off.
Splat, splat.
From the dilapidated balcony, a young girl in odd clothes gives Joyce an evil eye, a red paintbrush held to her throat.
Wonderful.
What is that? Point to Cindy the Skull.
The girl in the old lady rags.
Yes.
Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a teen infraculture.
Infraculture?
Yes. You and I belong to the supraculture. We're common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant, those are all too popular for the girl in the old lady rags. She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no refuge from the supraculture.
Okay, now explain the same thing, but to a child. I understand everything. Make it more complicated somehow. Yo, chill. Okay, let's
I can't. That's how simple it is. One may dye their hair green and wear their grandma's coat all they want. Capital has the ability to subsume all critiques into itself. Even those who would critique capital end up reinforcing it instead. All right. What next?
That's all for now.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
By the way, I talked to Everett Clare.
You have? And how
smell-
did you like Mr. Clare?
She smells carefully.
Finally, time to choose sides.
I didn't. He's a beautiful man, beautiful and just. Everett Clare is a hero of the workers' movement. He is the champion I've sworn fealty to. He's a bloated rainbow socialist. I can do business with him. For a socialist, he's reasonable. He is not the champion I have chosen. I wish to swear fealty to you and the cause of capital. It's not important if I liked him. I was doing my job. I didn't. We'll just say that.
Oh, come on now. He has his uses. How else would he have stayed in power all these years? Or wait, actually,
She answers her own question.
corruption. That's how he's done it. Fantastic, worm-like corruption, reaching into the bowels of the earth.
She looks at the ground and nods.
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official policy. I hope you understand. The RCM does not pick sides.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt worm myself. However, if you felt like discussing something,
She turns to you.
how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be gossiping.
She smiles.
Tell her she'll like you for it.
Yes, your disgusting necktie agrees completely. Let's gossip.
Mr. Everard is helping me find my gun. No, I helped him turn up the heat on the borscht. He asked me to open a door. I'd rather talk about something else. I'm gonna say he asked me to open a door.
A referral, you mean? I take it this was for someone in the RCM. Don't answer that.
Yes, a referral.
Such referrals may sometimes get you information from a man like Everard. Did it?
She nods carefully, as though handling a match near a powder keg.
Detective, I advise you to be very selective with what information you choose to share. This may have consequences beyond our line of sight.
The Union's militant wing organized a Elysium. Everett says the Wildfight sent mercenaries after the Union, and now one's dead. Everett asked the Union's militant wing to fully cooperate with the investigation. He didn't seem at all worried about the whole conflict that's developing.
I wouldn't have taken Everard for a saber rattler. Was he surrounded by Union men he wanted to impress?
We were alone, and he seemed very sure of his ability to keep things in control. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. I think he wants things to escalate. You're right, he was probably just showing off to me.
Or he wants you and me to believe he's calm and in control. He's a politician.
There's always that risk, man. But if I may offer my opinion, he means it.
I think he may have just been messing with us. Kim's right. I'm pretty sure he meant it.
I'll think it over, Detective. Thank you for relaying this information to me.
She tries to hide it, but some great doubt is spreading within her. There is a crown slowly cracking above her head.
What's this great doubt you're talking about? Ma'am, is everything alright?
You can't say, only that she's hiding the magnitude of it from you.
What? Yes, of course. Everything's fine. Perhaps there's more gossip you'd like to share.
That's all I've got to say.
What you've said is quite enough. You've given me a lot to consider, and may have helped me prevent this conflict from escalating.
Hear that, hero? Feels good, doesn't it? You should relay confidential information more often.
I'd rather talk about something else for now.
Of course, Detective. Should something come up later, down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat.
She simmers down.
Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
Thank you, that's all for now. White Warren. And the little guy gets smaller and smaller as you rise above the dollhouse world. You see him out in the snow, on the streets, in the shop on the corner, and finally in a matchbox house, sitting by the window, white flowers on the windowsill. You can smell them from up here. It's awful. A white morning. A modern death, divorce, or something similar. All you can do is put more distance between you and him. Make him smaller. Make him less you. Zoom out distance. Huge. That's gonna feel nice. What was this one? Oh yeah. How much XP do I have? 80. So what? 4 more small interactions. Hey, look at that. That feels good. I'm about to sell. I'm gonna go look at the trash can, but I'm not gonna sleep in it. And I'm probably going to go sell. Let me quickly see something here. Oh, she's inside. Let me knock on the door. Let me knock on the door, girl. Let me stay for the night. I'll pay you 9 real.
The door is closed. Still nothing. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance. He doesn't like where this is going. You should punch a fucking hole in it.
Breathe in.
You hear the murmur of blood in your ears. Your back slowly relaxes when you breathe out. That's one lucky door.
Try the handle.
This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside. As you hold the metal, You sense the warmth left there by her hand.
What? The warmth's still there. Is that thing on? No. Think I can climb through the window? No. I guess I'm going to have to... What? That's that woman, right? Oh, these dudes are gone? Interesting. Alright. I think I'm gonna end up selling that thing just to stay the night, man. It's not cool, it's not cool. Look at that zoom out. It's crazy. Okay. Okay, before I do. You know what? I'm gonna sell it, because I really don't think I'm gonna be able to complete that quest with the password. Give me big money.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with... Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Sheesh. What? Oh, did it like complete something then? If I want to buy something...
Another time, perhaps.
Would it be in here?
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Let your gaze run over the streetlight. Okay, I think I'll go through the stuff in here. And then I might just... Wait.
The boomboxes wait on the shelves. And your boombox, that gold and amber Harmon Waushi, stares at you longingly with its tape reel eyes.
What I really want to know is, could this device come in handy in my police work?
If police work means playing tapes, sure. You can use it for that. Or any other time you'd need to play a tape.
Like a beach party, with sand and sun and seagulls dancing on the breeze.
Thanks for clearing that up, Roy.
For sure. It's a consumer device with professional applications.
That's all. So with my...
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags.
So it's just this?
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Where did you let your gaze run over the streetlight?
The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly, but persistently.
Is this a streetlight?
Yes, officer. As you see, it's in perfect working order.
His manner is casual, but his speech is careful, measured. He wants you to know that he has nothing to hide.
Where did you get this?
It was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property.
He leans in so the pawnbroker doesn't hear him.
You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
He pauses, studying the light. How much for the streetlight?
700 real.
Okay.
A bargain, I dare say.
A bargain? No, it's not. He's trying to sweet-talk you into buying trash.
Are you out of your mind? There's one just like that on every corner. Even taking into account the risk of obtaining the light. That seems a bit steep. 700 sounds about right. I imagine it wasn't easy soaring off that street lamp.
The light has undergone 3 transformations, and every transformation, large or small, has a price tag.
He rests his elbows on the counter and brings his face closer to the glass. What do you mean, transformations?
Well, there are the cost of removal and rewiring.
He throws you a look of weary patience.
The most important transformation
No
is the
way.
light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago.
Get me out of here. You'll never. Alright. I hate that I had to sell that cube. But before we give that money, we will see what the conversation by this trash can will be.